attending and it's supported. Yeah. So these are their ideas. I just wrote it from their ideas. So that's the kind of overarching theme. So should we start asking Jason questions, or we'll just let the conversation flow quite naturally? Okay. Who's got the first 3 questions?
7.
Oh my God.
Good. Okay.
How many people come into Young Offenders a day?
A day?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. It'd be quite hard to work it out as a day. I think usually... See, when we term young offenders, there's loads of different bits to that, but the main thing being that somebody had committed a crime, the police had interviewed them, charged them, they pleaded guilty or not, and then at some point had gone to court.
Okay.
So it's only after somebody has been to court and had a sentence that we'd be working with them.
Okay.
And that's usually probably 10 years ago, it would have been about 5 times as many as it is now. So the numbers have dropped. Say, for instance, it might be, let's say it's 60 people a year. Whereas 10 years ago, it might have been 400 people a year.
What's that?
Sorry?
Why?
So that's a brilliant question. Why? Generally, offending has dropped, but what we're finding is the level of risk and the level of dangerousness and the type of the offences has gone up. So we don't have that many young people who ASBOs or being a nuisance or smashing a car or doing, kind of that kind of stuff. We have a lot less people, but the less people we have, but the risk is really high. So lots of stabbing, drug
Serious stuff.
serious
Not so much
stuff.
of petty stuff.
Yeah, that's the general theme over the last 10 years.
As we just follow on from that, some lovely questions. Can you think about, we did anybody look at statistics of crimes committed by young offenders?
I did.
And what was the highest level of crime? Not level, what was the more popular crime? Popular. You know what I mean?
I got it.
What do they love doing?
Let me
You see, I wouldn't know this. I wouldn't know this.
Well, it's on the YouGov.com.
Oh, are you asking us to answer?
Yeah, what was the crime that most people committed?
Oh, it was I think it was either like
Theft, alcohol offences, disturbing the peace, drug offences, vandalism, assault, robbery, and criminal trespass.
But which is the highest percentage, you know? I think I know, but I'm not sure.
I think
It is assault, isn't it? It's violence.
yeah.
Is it violence against other people?
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's from the bit of research that we've got. It's violence against. Would you say that's your experience?
Yeah, because that's the big umbrella in it for lots of different
Yes.
things. You know, it could be a slap and it could be beating somebody up.
what percentage roughly would you say? I don't know whether it's like a fact. Well, it wouldn't be a fact if they got away with it, wouldn't it? But like roughly, do you reckon the percentage of people that get away with the stuff rather than getting like sentenced?
As you say, I wouldn't know, but I would think,
Yeah.
because this is about the police, isn't it? That's about the police finding someone and charging and prosecuting them. So what you're on about is offences committed. They might not even be reported. So that's where it makes it really difficult. Offences might not even be reported.
Oh yeah, I didn't think that.
For lots and lots and lots of different reasons. But I'd say probably at least a third more than go to court. At least. But there'd be loads of reasons why things would be reported. Kind of leads on to your question as well, doesn't it? Is it the one about girls?
Oh yeah. Like what percentage of young offenders are girls and what are they usually in for?
Okay, so I'd say, again, I don't know percentages, but I know off the top of my head, I'd say for every girl, I think we probably have about 8 boys. So girls are really quite, we do work with girls, we do have girls, but percentage-wise, probably 10%, maybe even less. Of those, usually, I think most of them is because they've kicked off. Just saying.
Just be careful.
So usually, yeah, some sort of assaults or violent reactions or things like that.
Let's go to Emma, please, and then Alicia.
Has there been young offenders who have admitted that they regret what they did?
Project your voice, sweetie.
Oh, has there been young offenders who have admitted that they regret what they did?
Good question.
That's a really good question. Do you want the short answer or the long answer?
Whatever, I don't mind.
I think part of the work that we do is to try and get people to see their part in doing something. And then we think about how that impacts other people. So usually we all know that when we do something we get a reaction, don't we? Whatever we do in the world, we get a reaction. You know, if I punch that table, you know, I'm going to hurt. Eh?
Newton's third law.
Perfect. Newton's third law. So usually when we do something bad comes back. Or usually if we do something good, it's called feedback, isn't it? So part of that is we know we all live in groups of people and we all have to kind of get along. You know, and if we don't do that, then it makes life difficult for everyone. So in a way, we're trying to get young people to see their part in something. I would never say to someone, you need to be sorry. Because we also know that young people, say, who've committed violent offences have usually grown up in an environment where violence has been used against them. If violence has been used against them, that has a really damaging effect on them, which stops their capacity to have empathy for other people. So I think it would not be a good thing to say, you need to feel sorry, when all their life experience has been that nobody feels sorry for them. So I wouldn't do that they have to do that. A lot of people who are on longer orders kind of get to that point voluntarily, knowing that it weren't right, I can see the effect it had on them, and it's messed my life up, or it could have messed my life up. So there's lots of work we do around victims, around victim awareness, around having empathy for what's happened. There's lots of work we do with that. Some people do it, some people don't. That's a really good question.
Alicia?
Do they get any help when they leave?
When you leave,
Yeah.
Do you mean prison or you mean finish the sentence?
so usually there's two ways a young person can leave the yacht. In a coffee. So either they turn 18, and so like if they're still on orders and they turn 18, then unfortunately life is pretty brutal that 18 you're a kid and then as soon as you're 18 you're an adult. Now the difference between yacht and say probation is like chalk and cheese. Because we all run around trying to do the right thing. Probation don't do that. If you're not here at 10 o'clock, then I'm breaching you. So we try and hold on to them as long as we can, so that they don't go to probation. A lot of them finish their orders in the 16, 17, and then that's it. It's all done, unless they come back. So you either finish your order, or you're still on an order and 18, you technically go to probation. Or some people, you know, get really long sentences for murder. And then you see a 15-year-old kid and you know he's not coming out until he's 35.
Jason, we've talked a lot about this, haven't we, guys, about, and Elika, you might be interested in this answer, that the most young offenders have them experienced a traumatic background. Have you ever met somebody you think they've not been traumatised, they're just bad?
I've been at the yacht 14 years, and I think there's only ever in that 14 years that I've looked at one person and gone, I don't like you, and you're a wrong 'un. And I don't know how many young people I've met, but you know, I reckon at least 500 or something like that, and I think there's only one person that I thought, I don't like you, and you're a wrong 'un.
That's my experience. I mean, I obviously I don't work in yacht, but my experience of young people is usually things have happened to make people behave. Like, look at you're not offenders, but look at some of your behaviour sometimes, and it's come because of experiences that you've had though, and then that's our reaction to those experiences at a much smaller level than perhaps Jason's having to deal with.